This is Q. This is Talk on the Block. What's going on? What's on your block? Maybe you should tell me. We'll get an update from La Play. With all the rain, it appears that the environmental issue that we spoke of yesterday, read the physis from Pigpen, has just gotten worse. We heard this morning that Lauren Bannis Roberts is Dominica's new UN ambassador. Of course, we reported that some weeks ago, but it's now official. That she presented her credentials to Ban Ki-moon on August 22nd. She replaces Dr. Vince Henderson, who served as UN ambassador from March 2010. Dr. Henderson is now Dominica's ambassador to the Organization of American States, the OAS. Prior to her appointment, Bannis Roberts was Diaspora Liaison Officer with the Ministry of Employment, Trade and Diaspora Affairs from 2010, as well as Justice of the Peace. Between 2007 and 2009, she was Minister for Community Development, Culture, Gender Affairs and Information, having previously served as Minister in the Tourism, or the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Private Sector Relations between 2005 and 2007. In studios with me too is Blessings. Good afternoon to you, Blessings. How are you doing?
I'm giving thanks, my brother. I say praises, thanks, blessings, and glory to also humanity.
It's been some time you joined me in the studios. What's going on?
Yeah, well, the foot was so messed up, Matt, I could not make it up the stairs, and I'm saying, for the past time, I want to sit with Matt, but, knowing your schedule and all what you have to do, taking you into consideration, so I really held back. But now I'm doing much, much better, just like almost less than the size of a quarter to heal in the foot again, and less pain, so I could even walk a good distance without the clutches. So I'm doing much better, Matt.
Well, I want to say, that's good news.
Yes.
Good news given where you started.
Yes, man.
I guess you're doing a lot more for the health.
Yes. That's
The diet has changed?
Much drastically on the advice of Priscilla Prevost and many other people who told me, what I have to keep away from, and it seems like I'm doing much better. The butter, the cheese, the egg, the milk, all the oil, the saturated oils and all of that, if I using oil, is a little olive oil or a little coconut oil. So I'm keeping away from everything that could contribute to my cholesterol, further clogging the arteries and all of that. So I'm doing much better, much better. And I give thanks to all my guardian angels, those at home and those abroad. Some people taking offense, saying I never call them on the radio. I can't remember everybody. I would have to have a list and sit down and remembering, oh, okay, Matt, okay, Carlisle, and write. And then how am I going to get the time to come on the air to call all these names? So I generalize.
That is impossible. I get that every day.
I generalize and say my guardian angels. And every now and then I call one person, but they say that's the problem. You're calling one or two people. So then other people saying, but some people does not want to be mentioned. Some people don't want to be mentioned.
They want to remain anonymous.
Yes. I mean, a guy came by me Friday last week. I was almost on my butt, and the man gave me $300. He told me, please don't call my name on the radio. And he insists that I should not mention his name. And I could just give thanks to him because I was really
Yes.
And I say, my God, look at that, the brother just come and visit me and just, So I give thanks to everybody, and, I really do appreciate what Dominicans have done for me, Matt.
All right. Well, we're hoping in the not too distant future you will be up
and
about and doing things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Start working again, and
Well, I guess you're following the news about what's going on. We just have a new UN ambassador.
But I took note of something, Matt, and
what
having to do with the acting prime minister. That's over 3 weeks he's acting, Matt. You see the whole thing we were making about the Grange
yes,
giving $50,000 to
the range development,
development to 50 students. Matt, I listened to a statement from Dr. Colin McIntyre. That's how we should be addressed.
Right.
I think he's a medical doctor and a vet, but it's the brother said something to the students that received the scholarship. He said for them to defend the Citizenship by Investment program, Matt.
Yes, he said that.
And hear what he said, Matt. There are various means in which you can defend it. There are various means in which you can defend it, Matt. Hear what I inserted there. By any means necessary. Contrast these two statements, Matt. One is a bit shorter. There are various means in which you can defend it. What is it? What is there in that for you to defend, Matt? The word defend is very strong and various. I mean, I would like some intellectual like Dr. Clayton Shillingford or some guys to call and tell me I am making too much out of it. But Matt, what is in it for them to defend? It is what it is. Why should it need defending, Matt? It's something that is established. Every Joe Blow making millions. Why these little people that receive $1,000 have to be the ones that are making the millions? Let them go and do whatever they have to do to defend it. So these subliminal messages, Matt. So all of a sudden,
who is he? In other words, blessings. Who's he talking to? What is this defend with about?
That's what I'm saying. And various means in which you can go about defending it. To me, that is a subliminal instigation. So if you would hear somebody say anything, various ways, you could curse them up, you could beat them up, you could fight with them. I am just saying, I'm that dumb, Matt. So this is just my limited knowledge and understanding of the English language. But somebody who knows better, these words are very suspicious, Matt. And I'm very, very concerned about them. I heard about Lauren Barnes. I listened to Vince on Kyrie, but they tell me not to call the radio station. It's only when Peter there.
Kyrie told you not to call?
Well, my friend Crazy. My brother tell me I'm his enemy. But I still love him. Once upon a time, Crazy and I was very, very nice.
Yes.
And for him to tell that to me, you have not done nothing to me. Just tell me you are my enemy, not to call my station.
Did he say that on the radio?
No, he said it off air. He was cutting me off consistently the evening when I was calling. He was cutting out Brian as well. So I called him. I said, Crazy, that's blessings. Why are you doing that? He said, well, you're my enemy. Don't call my program. So I get the message. And when I called Simeon, he cut me off. When, what is his name? Tony Astafans and the lawyer. His name, the big lawyer with the other radio station.
You get the impression that they don't like to answer questions?
They were just abbreviating my call. Whenever I called, they just cut me off prematurely, not allowing me to get, a grasp into the whole discussion. So that means, that influence that we don't want, that blessing, stick out of it. So I see that shoo. So I just say, Simeon Albert cutting me off, everybody.
But you still call the national radio station?
Yes, of course, I do. I engaged Kamala maybe twice already, very confrontational and combative, and cantankerous, argumentative and quarrelsome, that's Kamala. But I can handle her. I can deal with her. Not handle or deal with. I don't want to say that. But I can engage her. I don't want to sound like I want to. But Matt, it is sad. I want to say something. I want to take a long break. 2 to 3 months. Not saying anything. Just maybe listen once.
Just remaining quiet.
Quiet. Because, Matt, there is something very alarming and frightening in Dominica. Matt Peltier, Carlisle, Angelo, the parliamentary opposition, Blessings and Coppell, and one that can point out what is wrong with a country that have so many things that are wrong about it, and other people who are intellectual, they have PhD, LLD, but there is various things coming into play, Matt. You have the administration systematically, in a forceful kind of way, forcing migration, Matt, of the intellectuals and the skilled people.
Brain drain.
Look, I mean, Hurricane David did it, Erica did it. Now you have an administration doing it, Matt, because the Builders and Contractors Association, you see what is happening to them, Matt? Every major project on island has to be given to foreigners, Matt. So it is, and people seems not to may have connected the dots, and I like a fool like me, if I can see it, I think they can see it, but they're afraid.
That's the word I was going to use. We live in, and I've said that before, in a mortgaged society. A lot of people are protecting, their mortgage. If they talk, something might happen to them. A lot of fear in the country.
Yes, and that's why I said now, Roosevelt Skerrit have employed the soil, the psychological soil. Roosevelt Skerrit have employed the psychological soil, and a cluster of contaminated seeds has germinated in that soil and flourished. And just the idea of not being in that protective position send chills up the spine. So they rather for the people to be afraid of them than they are afraid of the people. So the people clearly understand what happened to Lennox Linton with Tony Astapant and Skerrit. People know it's not dream, they're dreaming. What happened to Goni Emanuel and Greta Emanuel? People know they're not dreaming. Munger Freeman, everybody just, anything. Look at in Carlisle Breaker News, guys that are remanded in prison for serious crimes. They're outside getting women impregnated, and they're all about having the hair plait. And so people checking, but what that is happening in my country, I going to talk. I am going to say anything for them to make me dead somewhere. So they clearly understand they're dealing with gangsters, and I don't want to be further to elaborate on, but because of the station and Matt, I have a lot of respect for. I want to give thanks to you, Matt, for all you and Mr. G and Miss Dominique and everybody else who was involved. So we're just lumping up everything together. I don't know.
I know. You don't want to forget anything. Let's take a phone call there. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
My brother, how are you?
Everything blessed. Yeah. Wonderful. Blessing.
Thanks to you, sir.
Yes, I. Well, you know what, Blessing, I am one of those that cannot stop speaking in my country. When it reaches a point where I can no longer speak in my country, I shouldn't be alive in my country.
So do you have no fear?
I have absolutely no fear at all, my brother. None whatsoever. When I walk the street, I have no concern about any police or anything at all, my brother. I know for a fact that I'm not going to walk up the stairs of any government person looking for a job or anything else, because I know the answer. I have been through it, Matt. I've been there. So on that basis, no. What I have left, and I have absolute control over, is what I speak, what I think, what I say. No prime minister, no police, no anybody in this country can come between how I think, what I speak, and that type of stuff. And I would like to add a little bit, Blessing. I agree with you that we should not be going on our knees and thanking these guys out there, Grange or whatever it is, for giving 50 hand-picked students of we know who 1,000 EC dollars and call it a scholarship. Put it in context, my brother. These people have been authorized to sell 800 passports at $220,000 US dollars per piece. Those passports belongs to those students we're talking about. So yes, you are selling my property. You have 800 to sell at 220,000 US and pocket that money to do what they say you're gonna do, hopefully, and you giving me 1,000 EC and minister, the acting prime minister, I suppose, speaking on behalf of the prime minister, is telling the students that you guys must defend this by all means and any means. We are setting up our students to be satisfied with peanuts, with little. These students can never aspire for big and great things, to become an executive one of these days that will probably, and he or she will get a bonus for $10 million. Let the people aspire. You're making them sit down with a little thousand and they must come and beg you and they must fight for it with their lives. My brother, this is what our country has come to. Have a great day, my brother.
Have a great day. We're going to take a break and then we'll come back to talk more. In the house, blessings.
This is it. The 2016 Madame Wabduyet Canada Show, Madame of Madames, is on Saturday, October 1st, 2016 at the St. Peter's and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Toronto, Canada. The best of Dominica's cultural heritage will be showcased as we celebrate Madame Wabduyet Canada's 5th anniversary. The Madame Wabduyet Canada Show, Madame of Madames, will be a fierce contest as past winners and first runner-ups do battle, bringing their experience, flair, and beauty to the stage. But only one can win the title of titles, Madame of Madames. This year's theme, Viva Sissi Coteron, honoring Dominica's cultural advocate, Mabel Alice Sissi Coteron. Come enjoy a delicious dinner and an exciting show. Tickets are only $50. October 1st, the 2016 Madame Wabduyet Canada Cultural Show, Madame of Madames, at the St. Peter's and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Toronto, Canada. See you there.
It's now or never. The final opportunity to take advantage of the season ticket special for the World Creole Music Festival 2016. Only $250 EC dollars. Messieurs, mesdames, $250 EC dollars. Offer ends August 31st. Offer ends August 31st. Available at the DFC office, ground floor financial center. Only 2 tickets per person. Bring along a pictorial ID. Only $250 EC. 250 EC. 250 EC. Padi Umpate Tan. Padi Umpate Zav. The World Creole Music Festival where people meet.
Dive Dominica's Barana Breeze Bar and Grill, home of the best barbecue and jazz music, ends the summer with a grand barbecue blowout on August the 28th from 3 p.m. For one night only, eat to your heart's content. Choose from 3 meat stations of ribs, chicken, shrimp, lobster, fish, and a craving station with a suckling pig with 4 Creole accompaniments and wine for only $80. This is your last chance of the summer to enjoy our tapas and desserts for only $20. Enjoy a JP Chanet's sparkling wine on us. Compliments of Archipelago Wine and Spirits as we end the season with a bang with C Squared and Pages of Breve to jazz you throughout. Call 448-2188 for more information and purchase your tickets today. Barbecue blowout at Dive Dominica, August 28th. See you there. See you there.
all football. The Dominica Football Association presents the 2016-2017 football season. Yes, football fans, the season opens with 5 big matches. Yes, you heard right. 5 big matches in the Floor Premier League this weekend. On Saturday from 4 p.m., Sagicor Surface will take on Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers at the Benjamin Park in Portsmouth. While at the Jubla playing field from 4 p.m., it will be Caribbean Cool Harlem United versus newly promoted Petro Carib Port Michel. More football action on Sunday from 4 p.m. Exodus will come up against Midland United at the Benjamin Park. While in a double-header at the Jubla playing field at 3 p.m., Buffett State Football Club will battle newcomers RIC Kensbro, and at 5 p.m. it will be defending champions Jubla Football Club versus another newcomer Wacky Rollers. It's great football action at Jubla playing field and at Benjamin Park in Porsey this Saturday and Sunday as we kick off the 2016-2017 season with the Floor Premier League. Come support your team. Come support football. Don't miss it.
Somebody says here, why are our kids being asked to defend anything to do with the CIP? Here's a timely quote. When the missionaries came, the Africans had land and the missionaries Bibles. They tell us to pray with our eyes closed. When we opened them, they had the land. What did they leave us with? The Bible. Good afternoon. You can call me now. I know you've been trying.
May I just say something before you take
Go ahead. Yeah.
Dr. Simmons and Dr. Thomas.
Yes.
And all the nurses on Alford Ward and the ward aid. I can't forget them. You know, come on. The ward aid, the nurses, the doctors. My God, thank you. At the health center now you have the nurses. I give thanks to them as well, where I'm being taken care of, because I said a quarter, it's like a 5 cents now, Matt. The size of it is like a 5 cents. But I just wanted to say something in response to your previous caller. Matt, to maintain your sanity, you have to sometimes step back. If you can say, those who fight and run away will live to fight another day. When the battle becomes too intense, it's not a physical one for me necessarily. It's more psychological or mental battle, and a spiritual one as well. So, based on my experience, if I did not fall sick, Matt, maybe I would never realize how deep I am into the trouble, you know, because it is a troubling thing. But it's not out of fear, because in mortality, there is immortality. And that is why we are afraid of death, because we only look at our mortality. We do not see our immortality. If we read the Christ, we will see where, but and many other things. I'm reading a book, The Power of Now. What is death? You know, it's like up and down, negative and positive, darkness and light, and everything complements each other, the good and the bad. What is so bad about bad and what is so good about good? If they cannot coexist, there would not be bad if there was not good. There would not be good if there was not bad. You would have to find new definitions for these words, Matt. So it's not out of fear, my Lord. I give thanks to you for your courage, you being on the battlefield as well. But certain times, what that hurts me the most is the people who knows better and those who have the most to lose and who can clearly understand the battle, that war, more clearly than I do, want to send Matt information, Carlisle information, blessings. Oh, say this, say that, say that. Look at how they crucify Mr. Linton. I mean, how many of us that would stand up and say enough is enough? You know, when you call for the people to come, you just see two little people come and everybody's afraid. I am not afraid. I cannot be afraid. Me, who don't know me, think I may be afraid. I can't be afraid.
Blessings is not afraid. Hello, talk to me here.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
How are you?
Good.
This is Arthur Martin.
Hi, Arthur.
Listen, did I hear you say that the acting Prime Minister called on students to defend the
CIP, yes.
This is extraordinary.
Yes, hold on. Yes, go ahead.
After listen to what I heard on DBS, he is calling on the students. He said that they should defend the CIP. He tell them there are various means in which you can go on defending it. So I was saying, Afi, can that be interpreted by any means necessary? Various means in which you can go defending it. Thank you.
Well, I see another angle to it as well, which is I have never heard a minister of this administration call upon children, for example, to defend the Constitution of Dominica. I've never heard them call on children to defend really the environment in a holistic and integrated sense. I've never heard them call on children to stand up against sexual abuse of children. As a matter of fact, the party that from which the ministers come has not issued a statement at all seeking to protect the children of the country from sexual and physical abuse, and yet they wanted children to stand up and defend a program that is fraught with all sorts of difficulties for Dominica. There's a significant and severe contradiction there. I've never heard them ask the children to stand up and defend family. In other words, it is well understood that the building block of any society is its family. It may not be just the nuclear family, but the community family. How does somebody get into their head to ask children to turn around and defend something that is destroying them? Because the CIP, in my view, ultimately leads to destruction. Why? Because it puts on the block, in the international marketplace, the one thing that every citizen of any self-respecting country holds sacred: their sovereignty, their citizenship, and their right to belong to a particular place. And if you're asking the children to stand up and defend the right of about 7 or 8 attorneys to go forward and to sell your identity, to sell your passports, to sell your sovereignty, this is the work of evil men. I come right back to this. It is only devil people that can ask you to stand up and defend what is wrong and bad, while ignoring an appeal to the children to, hey, children, you all are being abused. The reports say this, the reports say that. I'm calling upon you to stand up by whatever means necessary to defend yourselves and your siblings and your brothers and sisters against abuse. And then you have the altar boys and the altar girls of evil. The altar boys and the altar girls of evil, who, in the face of all that is going wrong, will sit back there and remain silent. None of them, whether they be pastors or priests or speakers or whatever, come out and ask people to stand up for what is good. And so we are being asked in 2016 to stand up and defend what is bad, what is a threat, what is not good. while all the bad things that are happening to us, like the roads in the condition that they are, like the fact that an $18 million can be assigned to build a bridge when hospital needs today, not a year from now, today cannot be met. My friends, I mean, let us rise up. Let us stand up. Let us not be afraid. There is absolutely nothing to fear but fear itself.
Atimate, I want to take you on, move to another issue there very, very quickly. We're hearing of an environmental issue in the Lapland area where pig waste from a nearby pig farm is sort of seeping in the Tabari River there, a popular river in the Lapland area. And this man, chairperson of the Lapland Disaster Preparedness Committee, just called me a few minutes ago. And he's saying, Matt, it's getting worse because of the rain. And nobody seemed to want to do anything about it. Have you heard about what is going down there?
I heard, like you, when the gentleman called, and environmental health is supposed to be on it. You have one or two very diligent people in environmental health. They should be on site. They should have taken over.
Well, you heard what happened when he approached somebody, a senior person in environmental health, and that person said to him, "This is above me."
Above?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
No, they have responsibility for the public health in terms of physical and other matters. And not too long ago, I had the occasion to call out environmental health on another environmental matter. And frankly, to their credit, they did come. They came within an hour or certainly less than 2 hours. So I am aware that there are people inside there who have accepted that their mission is to protect the Dominican environment. And I would be very surprised if an approach had been made and he got that kind of reaction, because that's the first step. The second step is for the people there themselves to take samples of the water and bring it to an independent laboratory and maybe have it tested. And the third step is for them to trace the source, to document it in photograph and to document it otherwise, and actually find a way to sort of get an injunction against the continued production and dissemination of that waste into a public water system. But the first step has to be to get environmental health out there. And in fact, if the community values its health, which clearly this gentleman and the council and so on do, then they have to begin to take matters into their own hands, because in the final analysis, regardless of who is responsible for causing it, nobody is above the land, nobody's above the country, nobody's above the law. And so, the people of the community would be urged to go ahead and do that. There are other serious environmental problems. I mean, a gentleman from the north of the island called in to report that the excavated material from the Kempinski site is being dumped in a location, in the area of the coal water spring, which is in fact has been identified as a serious and important visitor and tourism site for the northern part of the country. But evidently, nobody is paying attention to where the waste is being dumped, and that is compromising the possibilities for development of tourism along that, if you will, that northern link road. And this is a project, and let me say it again, this is a project that our research reveals that this is the Kempinski project, that it is operating without planning permission, without the benefit of an EIA in one of the most sensitive areas of the country, the Cabrits, and it is really a breaking of the laws of the country. And the public officials responsible have to stand up. If they don't, the community has to stand up. If the people of Lago and Portsmouth and Tatton and so on don't want to protect the environment, they are going to have to live with the consequences.
Mate, thank you very much this afternoon. We have to, of course, move on here at this time.
Riveting weekly sports
Thank
show
you.
on Q95. The entire Caribbean is listening to Sports Rap on the big station every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. with renowned veteran sports commentator and retired magistrate Ozzie Lewis, famous cricketer and sports analyst Lockhart Sibo Sebastian, and national athletic coach Emmanuel Loblak. Sports Rap, your one-stop shop for unique, inclusive, in-depth analysis of local, regional, and international sports, bringing you the best in sports debate and up-to-the-minute information and statistics. Sports Rap, every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. 2 exciting hours of pure, exciting sports talk. The experts are in the house. Sports Rap, every Thursday evening, only on the big station, only on Q95. Lock it in.
The government of Dominica presents the 19th edition of the World Creole Music Festival. People all around the world come to feel the magic of this celebration. The music of all Creole nations. Come sing and dance with us. Come celebrate with us. Call 448-4833 or visit dominicafestivals.com.
Crystal waters, blue skies, only on the big station, only on Q95.
Searching through the murky waters for crystal clear views of an island's history, a history which is as boundless as the limitless blue skies which marks this island geographical location. Crystal Waters Blue Skies is the medium for dramatic expression. Get the vibes right on cue. Monday and Wednesday, 7:45 a.m., just before the hot seat.
I wake up in the morning.
From the Milky Way, a timeless treasure has found its way on every breakfast staple in Dominica. A delightful promise is being kept. And now, everybody is drinking Promex. Promex full cream instant milk. Morning by morning, give your family a refreshing start to a productive day. Promex milk. It's pleasingly, teasingly, surprisingly delicious. Blends well with your choice teas, cereals, coffee, or all your family-friendly recipes. Promex. Good nutrition all day long. Promex milk. Every mother's favorite milk. Taste the moments that take your breath away. Promex. Available from AC Shillingford and retailers island-wide. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
This is Talk on the Block. We're just getting information there that the authorities, be it the prison authorities did an entire search of the prisons yesterday. Carla John Baptist, it seems that they are responding to the many reports this week.
Well, yes, Matt, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your many listeners. Of course, they have to do things, and they have to take action because, remember, we reported cell phones are in the prison cells and people are WhatsApping Big Ben in Canada. WhatsApping Big Ben in Canada and asking Big Ben to pick them up in their cells, listening to him. I mean, if you can do it, it says that you must have some sort of device in your prison cell. So the authorities are taking action. They need to do a little more, and others in authority need to also look at those very prison officers, because if at all they did not get anything, it means that there would be a leakage. Because you remember, you have those rogue ones inside there, and just like you have the rogue cops, you would have the rogue ones inside there who will be passing out information and telling people, look, whatever you have, pass it out there, because there will be a little shake-up. So all those things.
So it appears that there was a shake-up yesterday, Carla Baptist.
Well, yes.
And we'll continue to monitor.
Oh, yes, we have to continue to monitor that. But, Matt, I am following up on another situation where I was told that Discover Dominica authorities is the marketing arm of the Ministry of Tourism. That is very correct.
Yes.
And they have been without a head of marketing for more than 2 years. Without a head of marketing for more than 2 years. Remember, government has said that they have increased the marketing budget. But where are we going? If you increase the marketing budget, why do we not have a head of marketing for 2 years? Minister Tong also promised us an interview. Have you gotten that interview from Minister Tong, Matt?
No, I'm still waiting. He's my school friend. We sat on the same bench at school. I'm hoping I get an interview very soon.
Well, you have Espamal Papai. And what about doing an audit in that very organization? My understanding is that staff morale is at an all-time low, and the rate of staff turnover is very high. So, Minister Tong, again, I know you want to go up for Rosa Central, but you have to take care of your ministry first. He has to do his work and give Carlisle and Matt an interview. Come and sit with us and talk to us, because from what we gather in the things are not good at all. I mean, your department is Dominica.
Mr. Tong should come and clear the air on a number of matters, and of course speak to us about all that is happening within his ministry.
And of course he needs to do that, Matt, and he needs to do that ASAP, because a few weeks ago we met at a popular Lyman Sport, and he did say to me that yes, he owes me that very interview, because when talk was being branded around that he was going to become the Minister of Tourism, when I went to him, he told me that nothing is concrete yet. As soon as everything is okay, I will get the first interview. But he has had several interviews.
He's already the Minister of Tourism. Carlisle, I also heard some development there on DBS radio between Cecil Joseph and Michael Anderson and Kamala John Baptist. I heard she was a little hostile to Cecil and Michael, but I'm gonna try to find that interview. I really don't know what is going on with the press secretary of the government of Dominica as it relates to her guests and sometimes the treatment.
Well, if that is the case, Matt, Cecil Whip will beat him, you know. Cecil Whip that beating him, you know. Our good friend Cecil, his own whip will beat him. So let us see how he will be able to counteract that. But knowing Cecil, Matt, as we do, Cecil was able to get Aurelius Jolly to resign as chairman of the board of DBS Radio when Mr. Jolly was not in favor of him holding the position fully of manager of DBS Radio. And so Cecil left. And Cecil then got the position of manager confirmed on him. So I'm telling you that Cecil will be able to get that person who is hosting the talk show. He will be able to get out of the way.
We'll find out in due time. Let's look and see. Blessings, you're still in the house, a lot of developments there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Matt, I think Roosevelt, as I said, the brother have employed the psychological soil in which a cluster of contaminated seeds have germinated and flourished, Matt. What I think the brother is using is the obvious, which is the most difficult thing to observe. You know, Matt, in your face, and you know, you have to shake your head and wipe your eyes and open it again. Am I seeing what I just saw? You understand, Matt? And it is a recurrence, and it's happening over and over. The ridiculous, the obvious, the brutality, and the people seems numb. Are we zombies? So it's not out of fear. I would really like to step back, Matt. But it's out of pure disgust. Not disappointment. I did not appoint nobody to do anything for me. So as I have said, the intellectuals have been forced out, the skilled people have been forced out. So what that are left in Dominica is like empty shells. You know, the wakai, the sprats. You know, when you go on the seashore, when they take all the big fishes, Matt, and they shake the net, and all these little sprats, and the birds eating them, and maybe some poor people come and pick them up to cook, or some guys come and pick them up to cook for the dog. It seems like that is what is left in Dominica, why we are so inactive, Matt.
All right, let's take a phone call. We will not be hearing the blessings in the next 2 to 3 months. He's saying that he's taking a break. Hello, talk to me.
Hey, good program. Quickly, Matt, are you following the news? Breaking news coming from the Wice.
No, I haven't.
Where Wayne James, a former senator in the Virgin Islands, was arrested right in Italy for embezzlement and other sort of corruption.
Is he a Dominican?
No, he's not Dominican. But interestingly, he served under when all that happened. He served under a Dominican, Mr. Patrick Louis Hill.
Okay.
Was his boss at that time. So it's very interesting time. Matt, quickly, I just want to remind people from Salisbury that we have a very important meeting on the block in Salisbury at 7 this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's just take our final phone call and wrap things up. Blessings, I want to say, just take the rest that you need.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, my brother. Blessings.
Yes.
And good evening to your listeners. Matt, did I understand, or did I hear Arthur to say that there is not planning permission for the Kempinski project?
That's what he said.
Now, Matt, could you believe now, I want to build a little foul cube somewhere in the heights of Marigot, and planning will not let me do it without their permission. So why is it that a project of that magnitude, they are going ahead without planning permission? And Matt, people talking about good people in the public service, and there are some. Matt, what kind of good public servant could be in planning department? And a project like Kempinski could be going on in spite of the fact that they don't have planning permission? Matt, it is not the first time I hear them talking about this piggery and the mess that is going on in La Plaine. Matt, people still talking about they have good people at environmental, Matt. What kind of good people could be sitting there, Matt? Months now I hear them talking about that piggery, Matt. And you're telling me there are good people who sit there months later, they're still going on, and you're telling me there are good people? Matt, it is the silence of the good that causes evil to flourish. And this is what is happening to our country. We must stop this hypocrisy, not because somebody's your friend or you like somebody. There couldn't be good people in environmental agency when for months I've been hearing about this incident in La Plaine. Now we are in Kempinski project, in which the Prime Minister is deeply involved, doesn't have planning permission, and it is going ahead, Matt.
Well, they say only in Dominica. We've got to go now, though. Digicel Alba is next. I just want to tell Blessings again, you know, just take care of yourself.
Yes, I will. I wish you the same, man.
All right, just take care, man.